In total, there are 7 modules, and they are all sent to the main production line.
All the sub-assembly modules move around the factory on conveyor belts, perfectly synchronized by computer to arrive at precisely the right place and right time on the final assembly line. The first step is to install the engine into the frame.
This is a very important part of the process because the engine becomes part of the frame. There is a specific order in which the bolts need to be tightened, and there's a certain level of strength at which the bolts need to be tightened. All of these details will have an impact on the performance of the machine.
There are 43 different workstations along the final assembly line. On an average day, 2 shifts of people, working a total of 16 hours, produce 850 motorcycles, each one in precisely 3,600 seconds. After 3,600 seconds on the line, each finished motorcycle is fired up for the first time and ridden onto a special test platform.
This machine is used to carry out the final inspection of the motorcycle.
Final inspection makes use of a very sophisticated machine. Besides running computerized tests on the engine, brakes, suspension, and instruments, it has a special light-sensitive panel that makes one of the last checks of the whole process, running across the front of the new bike to be certain the headlights are perfectly aimed and aligned. Whatever model is being produced in Hamamatsu, the factory is a classic example of Japanese efficiency and quality control. The way they build their bikes is the way they define their brand. Every 60 seconds, a new motorcycle is put into a crate for shipment around the world, where riders will measure time and numbers much differently than they do at the factory. Like 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.9 seconds, a top speed of 181 miles an hour, and 148 horsepower on tap. The CBR 1000RR is the fastest Honda sport bike. But there's another motorcycle in the Honda line that takes sport and adds an incredible amount of luxury. That bike is called the Goldwing. In 1974, Honda again shocked the motorcycle world with the GL 1000, otherwise known as the world's first Goldwing, a machine that would revolutionize the concept of motorcycle touring.
最初のこのコンセプトはですね、スーパースポーツモデルでした。
The first concept applied to this Goldwing was to make it a super sporty model, even though right now it's known as a Grand Tourer. But when we first started exporting it to the United States, the Goldwing was considered a super sporty motorcycle.
The GL 1000, in the mid-70s was really kind of introduced as a super bike, but it progressed and evolved into this new kind of motorcycle, the full rig tourer.
Over the years, the Goldwing engine has constantly grown, from its original 1000 cc's to today's 1800 cc model. Next to the little Super Cub, the huge Goldwing is the second longest production run of any Honda motorcycle. More than 500,000 Goldwings have been built and sold in more than 60 different countries. The Goldwing is such an important icon that it occupies center stage in the main lobby of Honda headquarters in Tokyo, Japan. The newest version of the Goldwing was designed by Masanori Aoki. He spent years in Honda's racing department, and his job was to make the new Goldwing sportier.
If you look at Goldwing, first impression, too heavy and not so suit for me. But if you ride a motorcycle, Goldwing, very lightweight feeling, and I promise you enjoy riding a motorcycle.
Beautiful chassis. We always talk about how much faster you can go on a Goldwing than you would ever expect, and how surprising it can be to be riding on a winding road and catch up with people who are riding sport bikes.
The newest Goldwing is the 5th generation of a motorcycle that's been in production for more than 30 years. Few motorcycles can match such longevity. Fewer still can lay claim to both creating and defining an entire segment of the motorcycle experience. The Honda Goldwing is the king of the road for long-distance, luxury touring motorcycles.
I've ridden the Goldwing all the way up to Nova Scotia from Boston. I cannot believe how good that motorcycle handled. It was tons of fun. Really a good acceleration, and really it's not, the bike that you see is not the bike that you have when you ride. It's an awesome bike.
The Goldwing is like, that's like an institution. It's a touring institution. They drove their competitors out of the market, essentially, with that bike.
Like Goldwings found all over the world, the motorcycle in Tokyo was actually built in Marysville, Ohio. The factory in Marysville, Ohio was yet another part of Seiichiro Honda's dream. Once again, the Maverick had defied popular belief. Honda was the first Japanese motor company to build a factory in the United States, dispelling once and for all the misconception that American workers could not build high-quality products. Seiichiro Honda personally oversaw the factory's plans and construction. The factory in Marysville produced its first motorcycle on September 10th, 1979.
It helped pave the way for Honda to go on to build everything from automobiles to minivans to power equipment products in the U.S.
Today, Honda has 17 manufacturing facilities in North America and builds nearly 1 million cars and trucks each year in the United States. But it all started with motorcycles and Marysville.
It has transcended into a large production facility that is unique in that it assembles its own engines, does its own plastic injection molding and final assembly, and is building the world's most sophisticated product in motorcycling, the Goldwing, and has built well over 500,000 of them in the last 25 years.
The Goldwing is so complex that it shares a lot of its technology with its four-wheeled relatives.
The beauty of the navigation system on the Goldwing is that it's the same system that's found in our automobiles.